Dear students, today we are going to do the revision of 6th chapter, that is, Rise of Kingdoms and Republics. Before we start the revision, let us see what we have seen this year historically in our country. The first lesson introduces the past history of our world. The second lesson explains about the River Valley civilization. The third chapter is well explained on the Indus Valley civilization. The Vedic civilization is described in 4th chapter, and the 5th chapter deals with rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Now we are in rise of kingdoms and republics. In later Vedic age, the Aryans spread over the Gangetic plain. We know about the Janapadas from Brahmanas, from early Buddhist texts, and from excavated archaeological remains. The Janapadas were the major kingdoms of Vedic India. By the 6th century BC, there were approximately 22 different Janapadas. With the development of iron of parts of UP and Bihar, the Janapadas became more powerful and turned into Mahajanapadas. There were 16 such Mahajanapadas during 600 BC to 325 BC in Indian subcontinent. This chapter consists of sources of Janapadas, republics and monarchies, Janapadas and Mahajanapadas, conditions in the Mahajanapadas, the republican state of Vajji, monarchies, rise of Magadha, strong rulers, and Alexander's invasion. Now let's go to the revision of 6th chapter. Let me ask you a few questions and you have to answer it now. Otherwise, you have to learn it fast. You have to answer the questions in 1 or 2 sentences. The first question is like this: what were Janapadas and Mahajanapadas? The answer is tribal kingdoms now grew in size and came to be called Janapadas, where Janas or tribes set foot. Some Janapadas gained control over large areas and became Mahajanapadas. The second question is, name 2 places where archaeological remains from Janapadas have been found. 2 places where archaeological remains from Janapadas have been found are: the archaeological sources include remains excavated at the Purana Quilla in Delhi and at sites such as Hastinapur and at Atranjikera in UP. The third question is, why were cities in Mahajanapada fortified by high walls? And the answer is, cities in the Mahajanapada were fortified by high walls to save from enemy attacks? And the fourth question, what kind of state was a Ganasangha? Ganasangha, that is, a state ruled by the heads of families belonging to a clan or by the chiefs of several clans. Gana refers to those who claim equal status, and Sangha means assembly. The fifth question is, how were the villages in the Mahajanapadas administered? The answer goes like this. A village was administered by the village headman, who had direct access to the king. The villagers themselves checked any misuse of authority by the headman. And the sixth question, name 3 powerful dynasties that ruled over Magadha during the 6th and 4th centuries BC. Magadha was ruled by 3 dynasties in succession, namely the Haryanga, Sishunaga and Nanda. The 7th question is, mention 2 consequences of Alexander's invasion of India. The answer is, Alexander's invasion opened up trade routes between India and Europe. The invasion weakened the states of northwestern India and paved the way for the rise of Mauryas. The 8th question, name 2 literary sources of information about the Janapadas of ancient India. The Vedic texts called Brahmanas and the early Buddhist texts. The 9th question is, what were the different forms of government prevalent in the Janapadas? The answer is, Janapadas were either monarchies like Magadha or republics like Vajji. 10th question, name any 5 Mahajanapadas. The answer, Koshala, Vatsa, Magadha, Vajji and Avanti. The 11th question, what kind of money was used for trade in the Mahajanapadas? The answer is, money in the form of punch, marked coins made of copper and silver, began to be used in trade. The 12th question is, why did Ajatashatru fortify Pattaliputra? And the answer is, Ajatashatru fortified Pattaliputra, or modern Patna, from where he could control the Gangetic plain and the trade along the Ganga. Now we will move to the B. Answer the following questions in details. The first question, explain why agriculture flourished in the Mahajanapadas. The answer, agriculture prospered in most of the Mahajanapadas as they were located in fertile areas. The republics, however, were mostly in less fertile or hilly regions. Number 2. Why did the rulers of the Mahajanapadas maintain standing armies and fortify their capitals? The answer, capital cities were often fortified as there were frequent wars among the Mahajanapadas. And the third question, why did the rulers of the Mahajanapadas introduce taxation? Briefly describe their system of taxes. The answer, the king imposed taxes on land, crafts, and trade in order to maintain the army, pay salaries, and pay for public works. Tax collectors collected taxes from the people. Taxes could be paid in money or in kind, that is, goods. Land tax fetched the maximum revenue. A share of 1/6 of the agricultural produce had to given as tax. Craftsmen and merchants also had to pay regular taxes. Sometimes taxes had to be paid in the form of unpaid labor. The fourth question goes like this. Name the strong rulers of Magadha. Describe Mahapadmananda's conquests. And the answer is, the Nandas overthrew the Shishunagas. Mahapadmananda was the most important Nanda ruler. By the time he became king, the Magadhan capital had been shifted to Pataliputra. He brought the entire Gangetic plain under his control. The fifth question is, briefly describe the system of government in Vajji. What did Gautam Buddha commended to keep it strong? It is believed that Vajji was ruled by an assembly of more than 7,000 clan representatives and elders, each called a Raja or ruler. The members of the assembly together took decisions on all major issues. Vajji had its capital at Vaishali. The Buddha did not want the republican Vajji to lose out to the monarchy. He said that Vajji would remain strong if its rulers followed established rules, met often and took decisions together, gave freedom to women and respected saints. And the sixth question goes like this. Where was the kingdom of Magadha situated? What were the natural advantages that helped it to become the most powerful kingdom in North India? The main area of Magadha was located in what is now Bihar. Magadha was situated on the fertile plains along the river Ganga. It had rich natural resources. The forest yielded timber of making chariots, boats, and buildings. The iron deposits provided iron for making weapons and tools. Elephants from the forest increased Magadha's military strength, as elephants in those days served as tank used in war today. The rivers such as Ganga and Son provided water and made the land fertile. The river also promoted transport and trade. Now, you got all the answers of 6th chapter. All of you are requested to learn well all the question answers. Thank you. Have a nice day.